Listening Part 1. One of Sarah's coworkers asked her why she eats soup every day at work, and Sarah replied because she likes to cook and soup easy to make. She makes a lot of soup on Mondays and bring it to work every day of the week. Then he wonders how to make the soup, what is the secret? Then Sarah replied, so basically she buys meat that has been cut, usually chicken, then rice, usually brown rice and vegetable. So after buying the ingredients, she cut them up and put them in a pot of water until it boils. Then the usual flavor is salt and pepper, but depending on the type of soup, maybe soy sauce or lemon juice. After the soup done, she usually eats some right then and put it on a container so that later it can be put in the refrigerator, but before that, let it sit on the table to cool. Then he asked how to heat it, whether using a pan or a microwave, and then Sarah answered, using the microwave because it was easier. Did she not get tired of eating soup every day? Then Sarah answered, sometimes, but if she get tired of eating them for a week, then maybe she will make enough for 3 or 4 meals, and if she wants to eat every day, then she's going to make a lot of it. He wants to try a bowl of Sarah soup if she makes 6 or 7 soup. Listening Part 2. On the upcoming Saturday night, he asked Jennifer out on a date. The plan was for him to take Jennifer to watch a movie, but he didn't know where the theater was, so he asked Renee. Renee is confused why he suddenly asked her about the location of the theater, and then he answered that he was going on a date with Jennifer. Renee informed that the theater is the second building on the right. It's right across the street from the church. After that, he asked again about a restaurant recommendation, to which Renee replied that the Pink Flamingo provides excellent Spanish food. When he inquired where it was, Renee said to start at Cinema, drive south on Pine Street, cross 2nd Street, and turn right on 3rd Street. A parking lot may be found on the left side of the road. Pink Flamingo is a building on the left side of the river, directly before it. After that, he asked the last question, which is where he can buy flowers because he wants to celebrate Jennifer's birthday. But Renee only knows one place, that is in front of the stadium on 2nd Street. Listening Part 3. The work of the Brother Grimms with the title The Dog and Sparrow tells the story of a shepherd's dog who is not treated and left to starve by his master. In the end, he can stand it and lives with a sad mood and meets a sparrow. Then the sparrow asks why the dog was sad. Then the dog replied that he was very hungry. Then the sparrow asked the dog to go to the city because there they would meet a lot of food. First, they found a butcher shop and the dog was told to stand there. Later, the sparrow would peck a piece of meat that was on the shelf so that it fell and the dog can eat it. After eating the meat, the sparrow asked the dog if he wants to eat another meat, and the answer is yes. So they look for the butcher shop again, and finally the dog ate the meat for a second time. And the sparrow asked if the dog was full or wanted to eat meat again, but the dog said he wanted to eat bread. And the sparrow found a bakery shop and packed 2 rolls that were lying on the window. Then the dog ate them. Because the dog still wanted to eat more bread, then the sparrow took him to another bakery, and in the end, the dog was full. The sparrow took the dog for a little walk out of town, but because the weather was warm and the dog felt very tired, the dog finally decided to take a nap while the sparrow perched on the bushes, while the dog was sleeping. A man came, a wagon with a chariot drawn by 3 horses and filled with 2 barrels of wine. Then the sparrow stopped the carter, but the carter didn't want to stop, and finally ran over the dog without caring about the dead dog. The carter continued his journey by crushing the dog's body until it was crushed. The sparrow didn't accept his friend being treated like that, so he pecked one of the barrel lids until all the wine was gone. But Carter didn't notice. He looked around and saw the cart was dripping and saw the barrel was quite empty. Then the sparrow perched on one of the horse's head and said, "Not rich enough yet." Because he was annoyed with the sparrow, finally he took out his axe and pointed his axe at the sparrow, but unfortunately it hit one of the horses, so the horse died. The incident repeated until the last horse died. Then he went home on foot, leaving his cart in anger, and told his wife that the horses were all dead. The wife told her husband that there was an evil bird that brought her flock of friends and ate the corn in their field. The cartman, seeing that he had lost everything he had, went to his kitchen and still doesn't regret what he's done, but sits furiously and sullenly in the corner of the chimney. But the sparrow sat outside the window and shouted, "Carter, your cruelty will take your life." With that he jumped up in anger, took his axe and threw it at the sparrow, but it missed, and just broke the window. Carter was very angry and destroyed the furniture in his house. In the end, they caught the sparrow, and his wife wanted to kill the sparrow immediately, but the husband said, "Don't be too easy," so he wanted to eat the sparrow. Then the sparrow began to flutter and stretched out her neck and cried, "Carter, it shall cost thee thy life yet." In annoyance, he ordered his wife to kill the sparrow in his hand, but she missed her aim and hit her husband's head so that he fell dead, and the sparrow flew home peacefully to his nest.